gonna tell you a quick story. So yesterday, me and Tristan were chilling, having coffee, eating watermelon, smoking cigars, B&Gs. All of a sudden, one of the girls Tristan's seeing calls him up and says, "I got a problem. I need you here now. A guy is attacking my car." So me and Tristan look at each other and go, "Okay." So we jump in our cars. He jumped in the Aston. I jump in the Lambo. She sent her location. It's only about a mile and a half away. So we start burning down the road. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because actually one of the few times in my life I felt sorry for someone. I don't usually feel sorry for people. I'm very much like, you know, the life you live is your own responsibility, and where you end up in life is your own fault. And to a degree, yeah, people are born with shit hands. Obviously, if you're born in Yemen, you know, into like a sheep herding family, you're never going to be a fucking tech billionaire or whatever. But I'm just saying, in general, in the Western world, I'm not much one for sympathy. But I ended up feeling sorry for this guy. So long story short, what happened was the girl who called Tristan had cut him up. So it was her fault. She made the traffic violation. And the guy got so pissed off, road rage, got out of his car and started slamming on the thing of her, on the boot of her car. So anyway, so when me and Tristan roll up, Aston Lambo, obviously everyone stares because of the noise, because of the cars they are. We pull up right next to the car. The dude's still like screaming kind of at her, and then he turns and sees these two cars. He's like, "Well, that's a bit weird." Me and T get out and start walking over, and he shits himself and tries to run away. So Tristan goes over and grabs him and goes, "What the fuck you doing?" And roughs him up a bit. Anyway, while he's doing that, I was with Tristan and I realized Tristan had it completely under control. The guy was no match for Tristan anyway. Tristan's like 120 kilo now. So I was like, well, Tristan had him up off the ground and everything. So I asked the girl what happened. The girl was like, "Oh, well, I was driving and I pulled out on him and it was an accident and he went psycho." And I went over to Tristan. I said, "Okay, just let him go." Tristan goes, "Let him go?" I said, "Yeah, let him go." So anyway, that's the end of the story. So me and Tristan went for coffee back when the girl left, blah, 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 back for coffee after we did our little policing job. Went back to coffee. And I was sitting there saying to Tristan, I said, "I felt sorry for that guy." And he said, "Why?" I said, "He was completely in the right from a traffic perspective." He says, "You have to understand, this dude's driving down the road. Some bitch who's 10 out of 10, hotter than he will ever get in his life, pulls out directly in front of him in a Porsche Cayenne. My guy has an old Citroen worth about 4,000. This girl's driving, and this is in Romania. This is where the average wage is about 500 euro a month. This girl's driving a 95,000 euro car. So she's in the upper echelons of income like me and Tristan are. So you're driving down the road, you're 30 something, your life hasn't gone the way you want it to, you ain't got a wife, and if you do, she's fucking ugly. You're driving a shitty car, and some fucking bitch, like hot, the kind of hot girl who's never spoken to you, never given you the time of day, pulls out directly in front of you in a car you could never afford, ever. Of course you're going to be frustrated. Like I was saying to Tristan, I understand why this guy got pissed off. Obviously you're going to be like, fucking, and you know it could have just been a bad day, and things could be adding up, and eventually, because of traffic, because she couldn't escape, he gets out, starts hitting on her car, saying, "You stupid bitch, you pulled out, you broke the rules of the road, da-da-da." But really his frustration's not that she pulled out, his frustration's at life. And then to add insult to injury, $500,000 worth of cars pull up. She makes one phone call while you're yelling at her, this pretty girl, and $500,000 of cars turn up. And me and Tristan get out. Now you got 350 kilo of kickboxer coming up to rough you up, even though she's totally wrong. And the reason I felt sorry for him, and I'll say to Tristan, is it just shows that everyone has a place in life, and it's the reality. It's the reality of the world. I'm not Tom Cruise. I'm not famous. Me and Tristan are not famous. We're famous in Romania, tabloid bullshit, but we're not famous in any real sense. We do have a high income. We are physically large. We are young. We have a lot of assets that go in our favor. But I'd say we're in the top 5 to 10% of men on the planet in terms of our achievements and our abilities, etc., etc. But this poor dude, when Tristan had him all gripped up and his anger had turned from anger into pure, not even fear, it was more just like submission. Like, this pretty bitch with her expensive car is just called the $500,000 police, and I can't fuck with people on this level. He was just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He was just like very not afraid. He should have been. He was, but he was very like just submissive to it. And there was a huge lesson in it for me. It's even hard for me to articulate. I was just saying to Tristan, it shows that there's different places in life that this woman can go through the world driving wrong, driving like a prick, and as soon as someone loses their temper with her, that's the person who ends up going home feeling disheartened. And I'm telling you, man, that's suicide shit. That's the kind of shit that's just the final nail in the coffin. When you go home, you park your shit car, you go into your shit house, you look around at your shit life, and you think, who the fuck is this girl can just pull out on me anytime she wants and call these two kickboxers and just Lambo in this ass to come and rough me up? I wasn't even in the wrong in the first place. Maybe I shouldn't have yelled at her car, but she shouldn't have pulled out on me. And this is why when people say to me, Tate, you're obsessed with money. I say, no, I'm obsessed with not being in that position. I'm never going to let me live my only one life on this planet and waste my years of consciousness in that position. I don't want to be the guy who's 37, driving a fucking shitty Citroen, who gets pulled out on a girl who's too hot for me, driving a car I can never afford, who can call fucking dudes, psycho kickboxers with fucking Lambos and Astons to turn up and bust me up. I'm never going to be that guy. I'm never going to accept that submissive position. And that's why I say when I talk about money and achievement and training and all these things and how important they are, because if you don't find those things important, well then you're just accepting your place lower down. And I don't think anyone should ever live that way. I genuinely felt sorry for that dude.